we're gonna limber up for this one. Okay. Doom Cycle. This is the MCN. We've got one big topic, and then we've got a big bit of coverage, I think, over Doom Cycle. So whilst I'm recording this video, it is 11:45 p.m. UK time on the 24th of July. So anything we're covering is relevant at this time, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more that's going to drop based on the sentiment of the community. Let's get into the show, shall we? This month in MCOC has probably been one of the most, what feels to be stressful, in terms of there's just so much to get done. And if you're a casual with MCOC, it is incredibly stressful, as we said. But also, if you're looking to get a lot of things done and the problems surrounding the game, this, of course, is very frustrating. And I think maybe this is where Kabam fall on their own sword with it. It's great to put out a load of stuff, but it's when things come out and they're not exactly perfect or less than problematic, because most times, when there's new stuff in MCC, it's problematic and there's bugs and issues. These are some current bugs or issues that either have been taken care of or haven't been addressed. Shout out to Jack the Snack for keeping a log. I think regularly keeps a log of stuff as well. Valiant EQ swap's not working. Raid bugged from start. Showcase has random degen damage. I mean, look at it from perspective of AQ raids. Is it both weeks? Maybe even you could say part of the third week is coming with a bug. So we'll have to see if there's another bit of compensation. Anyway, the Clash Showcase say requirements met and then won't let you enter. Not sure if it was a PI issue was there. Incursions was bugged. Oh, yes, it was. Rintrab bugged in raids. Yes. Thing bugged in raids, getting vigilance instead of grit. Still uncompensated. New game mode was bugged for hours when it dropped. Not for everybody, but for some. But I will give that to that segment being there. But it has been taken care of. Game went down unexpectedly. Yeah. Health resetting by 1 to 2% on the first offender in raids. Actually, don't think this one was taken care of. Forums were absolutely busted for days. I think there was a mobile, maybe. I definitely didn't have the issue, but I do agree on some stuff with that. If you didn't wait to claim the Twitch drops until after that event started, you didn't get the points. Yes, that's still been unaddressed. Still not cumulative comp the team was discussing. No news. Oh, yeah, they were meant to be discussing that. No news on Titania. Wasted. Yep, exactly. AI is probably the worst it's ever been. Yes, it's terrible. It's really it is terrible. I think it's got a little bit worse this month. Inputs, I think, have got worse. Lack of Mysterium for the first 2 weeks. Yeah, that's true. Quality of life requests pertaining to battle groups. They seem to be just suggestions at the moment. Not asking for answers. Yeah, just nice to kind of like hear what's going on. I think there was an answer on some stuff here. Twitch drops points for folks who claimed before the Realm event started will be added to later in the Realm event. We've said that in a few different threads, but not central place, so it might be why it got lost. Cumulative comp was brought out with the team yesterday. We don't have any news, and until we have more, it's going to look like we forgot about it. Oh, so waiting for an answer. The rest I'll update here soon. Okay, good. Well, at least that's pretty fresh because that comes in at 8 p.m. UK time, of course, on the 24th. I really hope there's some answers because our next coverage I'm going to go into it's going to be relevant to that. There's a lot of stress this month because things hang in the balance. If you're not able to do certain things, you won't be able to get like grants. Grants mean you won't be able to get the 7-star version of Mr. Fantastic. If you're not able to get all of the Summoners Fest points, there is again the fear of missing out with that particular Realm event. This one right here. So again, it becomes frustrating. There's a lot of unnecessary stress this month, especially with Kabam launching new modes left, right, and center. More stress when you figure out how much players have had to invest into stuff like the Clash event to get on recruitment, and how much the fact that it didn't actually make much of a difference in points. People invested a ton of energy and didn't actually make any kind of gains whatsoever. So it's not been particularly great for a lot of these new game modes, and we're going to be focusing the last story on the MCN, which is weird to be like talking about. There's going to be just 2 stories in the MCN today, this one and the next one we're going to talk about, but it's probably the most important one to talk about at the moment. That's Doom Cycle. Dimensional Arcade Doom Cycle is a bit of a weird one for me. I like the idea of something new. Unfortunately, something new always comes with a risk in how Kabam are going to treat it. And as much as I can be hyped and excited, It's ultimately left with either I'm going to be highly disappointed or just tepid mid and feeling, well, okay when these modes go live. I don't mind the poker-based mode, and I don't actually mind this mode. What I do mind is monetization around it. And then my realization is that, yes, it does all boil down to money-based elements. The feedback obviously speaks for itself. So there's going to be, I'm just going to read something now. It's like my points. I've probably put this in the description, but these kind of like my points on the matter, right? People want to see an improved side quests. These, of course, are the answers. People didn't want to see what Kabam put out as new experiments. This should still not discourage Kabam for trying something out. Make mistakes. But then in lies the problem. The big issue is it's not what people want to see from this game. People say focus groups or Kabam need to be looking to run this past for the community. And I just want to remind everybody, game developers, 95% of the time, or most of the time, whatever figure it is, they predominantly, so a good chunk of it, do not run things past their communities. They just put stuff out. This is why so many games have had so much backlash at times, not just MCOC, because that's how it works. In other games, they monetize through skins. Anytime I bring up skins, it's either met with people going like, we shouldn't do skins in this game. Well, if that's that kind of paying element within this game, whether it be battle passes or other stuff, that's kind of the in of kind of something different. Kabam isn't that case. Kabam and MCOC is one where you spend money to save yourself time. This is incredibly, again, self-evident with the following on screen. With this game mode, you can buy with the premium currency these tickets, Dimensional Arcade tokens. That gives you access. Doom Cycle Mastery points. That makes your champion stronger, therefore you can basically tank the entirety of the chapters. And that's already happened. You might be saying, oh, somebody actually spent a load of money on this? And yes, someone has spent a massive ton of money and have already got themselves through a lot of the stuff. They've improved their masteries to the 8th degree, if there is a further than a 7th degree, but they've done that, right? And that's saved them time by spending money. Okay, I got no issue. As I said, I have no issue with anybody that spends money, but I do have an issue with how monetization, of course, reflects and impacts this game, which it does. It massively does. The lack of quality of life improvements in the game of late and the stress of having to do all these particular game modes, of course, hits a breaking point with not just me, but the community as well. There's a lot to do this month. I do feel stressed. I've got like a to-do list that is very much MCOC related, and I always need to kind of think, I need to get this stuff done. And I'm always worried I'm not going to, and it impacts. It impacts on alliance-based participation. It impacts on what I can get within the Summoners Fest, and it impacts for other people. It's not just me, it's you as well. It's trying to keep up with everything. And if you're a casual, if you don't play quite so much, and I'm not saying it's fear of missing out, but it's like the fear of keeping up. Because if you don't keep up, you're screwed. You really are, with kind of like getting certain things and being competitive within the mode. And yeah, it's interesting to bring in the community's feedback on this one, because of course it's relevant. We're going to have a look at what you have to say, and that's important. It's the most important thing. Just to understand why you guys introduce these game modes. MCC Poker turn-based auto run. They take away from the core MCC for the last 10 years of building your skill, expanding your roster, and these game modes come away from it completely, right? It's difficult to have a balance between what is right by the player base and wrong, what the players want to see and what Kabam think is right. And this disconnect, I think, is kind of like, we're not like this, we're kind of like that. I also saw that there was somebody that was pointing out about the CCP. Why even have the CCP at this point? In terms of, the question was like trying to gain feedback to modes. And this is what the CCP is not a group of free beta testers. And that's true. Like, I have a daytime job, like a full-time job. I don't have time to kind of do like QA for Kabam. We are all unpaid. You watching this video, me, anybody that is not on the staff of Kabam are unpaid QA, quality assurance testers of the game. You are the testers. You're the beta testers of this game. It is thrown out live. The program exists to help creators produce content for their channels and support their careers. I don't know about the last part, but definitely. Well, if you get a job with Kabam, it definitely is supporting your career, isn't it? With that one. Anyway, so they make videos showing the rest of us how to do things, use champs defeat, which lends some cadence to the thought that the game has become complicated and unwieldy. Yes, I can't remember the last time a champ came out that you could read the kit and know what to do. That's pretty much it. In terms of the event itself, with 81 entries, and then of course you've got to do shatter. So if it takes you, I don't know, between up to 10 entries to clear the first chapter, because maybe you've got to build your masteries a bit stronger, then of course you've got to do the shatter mode, which then again you've got to do 25 times. So it may not feel completely painful in your endeavor to do this, but I do agree, like it's kind of like, it's just, maybe it's not what players want to see. And that's the difficulty. Kabam are putting out stuff that players don't want to see. Wheel of Fate wasn't exactly right by the player base. What is right? Is that then down for Kabam to go, do you know what, we'll kind of speak to our community a bit more and find out what kind of like modes they want to see. Maybe that would work well. Kabam might say, well, this is the maybe, like, I don't know, they have to again find out, is this a section on the forums that are very unhappy about this, or on Reddit or wherever, comments, whatever, Discord, not happy about it, but it was well played within the game for the people that, you know, were frustrated. They'll need to do some proper testing with numbers, sentiment, and more than that to kind of figure out what is wrong. The biggest frustration at the moment is there's a lot to do. There's too much to do. There's too much to cover. I'm coming home from work on a daily basis and going, I need to kind of get this covered because it's something new. If it's broken, we've got to cover it in a news thing. We've got to remind people, let people know what's wrong with it. We then got to figure out like a top 10, top tips. You then got to, there's so many, then we move on to the next thing. Again, you have to think it's like next week, it's a brand new month of coverage. We're going to go into the next mode. I've got battleground stuff to do. You're the same. It's not just me. You're exactly the same. There is something that I do want to kind of, and this is a great point here, like another daily thing, man, we don't get to live, do we? Yeah, pretty much. I'm seeing this quite a bit where people are talking about resource. Did the resource get it wrong with building something like this? Quite possibly. People are also saying that the resource is in the same department, right? There's something to kind of explain. You work, you might do, I'm assuming you work, that are watching this video. In your department, would you expect someone from a different department or a different side of the business to do your job? You're probably going to answer, no, I wouldn't expect them to do my job because they wouldn't know how to. You know, you wouldn't expect someone in data analytics to go and clean toilets the same way you wouldn't expect the cleaner to come and do data analytics. It's just, they may know about it, but you wouldn't trust them to actually do the job themselves. So it's two departments. People do seem to be kind of like putting this rhetoric each time of like, oh, why would you waste resource in this way? It's either, look, they made a bad decision when making a mode or modes that didn't exactly tick the boxes of the players. Yes, that could be seen as wasted resource, but saying that the same department could be working on bug fixing or doing something else, it doesn't correlate. I worked for a business where I was a facilities manager, but I wouldn't get the barista that I hired to serve coffee in one area of the business to do maintenance in the other side of the business. The same way I wouldn't expect my maintenance person to go and serve people coffee as a barista and make all that fancy latte shit art, whatever it is. I think I'm going to have to be careful in the future to be optimistic about anything new coming into MCOC. And that is just because I don't know if there's going to be too much FOMO. And it just feels like that is where MCOC is going. And as I keep saying, and I'm going to reiterate this all the time, you are spending money to catch up, like to catch up more time within in game. Like you can get the stuff in game and get to a certain point. I know people will disagree with me, but how deep your wallet is or how deep your units are is how you catch up. And it is just really difficult. It's even worse if you're a casual player and a casual free-to-play player in MCOC. You can't really enjoy the game too much in a casual sense. If you're, and again, FOMO factors into it. Yeah, so I mean, these are some great points right here. Unless you have to step away because of real life or other phone interactions before saving. Yeah, I accidentally exited the mode. I think I exited it twice, but I think I got like the currency come back, but I think it messed up my masteries. I don't know, man. Like I'm just, yeah, I am disappointed in the kind of like the hope in something good coming in and it be kind of like, oh, well, I've got to spend for it. Or it's like you just got to like be active, like so much more. You know, big boohoo, person has to play game more. But it's just time, like, you know, there's just so much stuff I need to personally do, but I kind of always seem to be wrapped up with, oh, there's something new in MCOC. It's broken. Like, oh, new mode. Oh, you got to spend here. Well, you don't have to spend. Yeah, but like, how do I catch up? No, just catch up. Just, I don't know, do more, play more. Anyway, at the end of the day, not great from Kabam. We'll continue on, I guess. That's been the show. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Bye, everyone. Every bun. See, this is messing with my mind. MCC is like now MCC is existing rent-free in my bloody brain, and it's annoying me. Breaks needed, I think. Bye.